and welcome to my channel. I am Stephanie. This is the mid-year freakout tag. What? Okay, so I almost forgot to record this for one, and for two, as you can see, I'm sitting in my car because I'm at swim practice recording this in my car. Yes. So, as we go through these questions, if there's something that I need to like show you physically, I will just take pictures and insert them into the video because where has the year gone? I mean, the year has gone to shit already, and the skits that are coming out are absolutely amazing, but like from the comedians and stuff like that, some of them like B-Mo Prince, I think, or something like that, his skits are super hilarious. And I love his skits over on Instagram. They're so funny. If you haven't watched them, you need to go just check them out because they're hilarious. His 2000 skits are, oh my god, 2020 skits, because he started in 2020. I think he has 2019 that appears every once in a while. I am off topic. Woo, let me stop rambling because there are 13 questions here, and we don't need to be long-winded on this, right? You guys want the answers to the mid-year freakout. I'm already freaking out because I am actually like 14 or 15 books ahead of schedule, so I'm good on that. These aren't part of the questions. If I can find the original, I don't know. I've been doing it for so long that I'm pretty sure I have this in a playlist somewhere. So I will link my playlist for where I'm putting this, because I think I put it in my wrap-ups and like special videos for like yearly stats tags or something like that. But I'll link that down there because I've done it every single year on the mid-year date. So sometimes it's on July the 1st, sometimes it's on July the 2nd. This video should be coming out July the 2nd because I've been doing that. That's how I've been doing it. Next week is my 7-year booktube anniversary. What? Where has that time gone? I had planned on doing a live show. I'm still up in the air if I'm still going to do it or not. I don't know. I haven't decided. I know a few of my friends needed advance notice on if I was still going to do it or if I wasn't going to do it. But then there's a couple that are like, if you do it, you do it. If you don't, what have you, I'm still here to support you either way. So I will let you guys know in the next couple days or so if I'm actually still going to do it and how that's going to be set up and things like that. Oh my gosh, why is my hair sticking up? Yes. So there's that. I think I'm done rambling. Let's get into this mid-year tag. So the first question, starting off with the heavy hitters, of course, is the best book that I've read this year. Like I said, I'm ahead of my schedule, my goal of 250 books. I think I said 250 or 256 or something like that. I always do the same number, 250. So I'm ahead, and right now, my favorite, right now, for this first half, I've given only a handful of flat out 5-star books. Like, I give 4.5 out pretty regularly, and then on Goodreads it says that it's a 5 type thing. But full-fledged in my notes, 5-star books, I've only given a few, and 2 of them are By a Thread by Lucy Score, which absolutely surprised the shit out of me. No, it's not the question or answer for that question. I have different books for that. But I really enjoyed it. It's a chunker, and the audiobook did not make it feel like it was super long. Lucy put me through all my emotions in this book. I cried, I laughed, I swooned. It was just so good, and just really it's one of the books that I gave 5 stars. And then the other book that I want to tell you guys to go check out that I gave 5 stars for is one that I just recently read, which is Last on the List by Amy Dawes. And y'all know that I love me some Amy Dawes. I'm an Amy Dawes stan. For the most part, I've read almost every single one of her books that she's written and published and things like that. I love her. And to have the 5th book in the Wait For Me series be such an emotional roller coaster ride absolutely threw me off kilter. I was like, I just need some laughs. I just want some laughs. I just want to laugh. Amy, why? Why was I in tears? At some moments in this book. Like, I haven't even done the full video review for this one yet, because I just recently read it, and I don't even know how I'm going to, like, be able to tell you guys about it. I mean, it's just like, it was so good. And I've been holding on to this review for the last couple days because I just recently read it. So yeah, there's those. Those two books are my favorites. As of right now, two of the like 6 or 7 books that I gave actual 5 stars to. So yeah, there's that. Best sequel is going to be The Princess Bride Part 2 by J.J. Mcavoy. This is the middle book, but at the same time, it has a complete ending, and surprisingly, as I think about this and look back on it, it's actually pretty low spice. I mean, JJ gives like this hint of them getting down and dirty and things like that, because there's some things that end up happening in the book. But this is another book that just sent me through all of my emotions. I cried, I felt for our characters. I mean, I swooned, and I was just like, no, don't do that. Oh, don't do that. And just, oh, I was in it to win it, and I loved every single moment of it. But there is a third book, so technically it is the sequel, but the series isn't over. But you don't have to read book number 3, although I do want to read number 3 because it's like supposedly years in the future and think, mwah, 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 mwah. Yes, so good. Another book that is a best sequel for me is Black Knight by Alethea Romig. This is the 4th book in the Sin series, and I can always count on Alethea giving me like twists and turns and just so many surprises and aha moments and things like that. And this one, it was just like, oh, she gave it all to me, and I was here for it. I loved it oh so much. And then finally, I'm gonna tell you guys another best sequel that's technically not a sequel but is a sequel, is The Wedding Crasher by Mia Sosa. So good, so good. As a matter of fact, you guys will see in my weekly wrap up, I just picked up a copy of it, and when I was checking out at the register, the retail person was like, oh, this book is rarely here, it always like gets tracked up. And I was like, yes. And you know what, fun fact, that author is from the Maryland, DC, in DMV area, and places in the book are from this area. She was like, really? I was like, yes. I can't wait to re-listen to this audiobook because I read it with text to speech, so I didn't get all of the nuances and things like that, but I'm pretty sure that the audiobook is going to be on point, and I can't wait to reread it. Question number 3 is the new release I want to read but haven't read. So these should be really quick. Why I haven't read them, I don't know, because I'm a mood reader, maybe? Is that a excuse? Because that's the excuse I'm going with. So I haven't read These 3 Words by Megan Quinn yet, but I need to. Dirty Secrets by Peyton Banks. This is her newest SWAT book. And I haven't read that, but I will because I love those SWAT guys. And then I haven't read any of the books in the Dalton family by Marnie Mann, but I know that I'm going to love them because these covers, what? I love a man in a suit on the cover of a book. That's my catnip. That's my catnip. And then Marnie, I love her writing, period. So yeah, there's those. So those are I need to read that I haven't. I have them in my possession on my Kindle, and it's audiobooks and things like that, but I haven't read them yet. So my most anticipated books for the second half, which I've never understood why we have this question and then the very last question isn't that like the same thing? But I guess, the last question are books that I need to read before the end of the year. And this one is like anticipated, I guess, that could possibly get pushed. I am off topic. Let me get back to it. So, I'm anticipating and to read in the second half, the rest of the Rose Canyon series, which don't have covers, by Corinne Michaels. And I am so looking forward to reading season 5 of the Lunchtime Chronicles. Oh my God! I think we're like maybe a week away from the release of the first one, and I'm just like, I can't wait, because if you guys don't know, or if you haven't been watching my channel, at the beginning of this year and the end of last year, I was devouring the Lunchtime Chronicles. I started at season 1 and worked my way all the way through and loved every single one of them. There aren't very many old authors that have written before in the series that are going to be writing in season 5. So I'm super excited to find some new authors too, which, nope, doesn't bring us to that question. So my most disappointment, my biggest disappointment in books is The Journey Continues by D.L. Winters. And I was thrown off by the heavy topics in the first book, but the second book just didn't grab me. There were so many voices in it that had like parts, and it just didn't seem like it was cohesively put together, and that was kind of a disappointment. And then it had like this open ending that I was just like, what am I supposed to do with this? Is there going to be a third book, or are you just gonna leave it like that? Because I couldn't even really like place it as a thriller, which, thrillers kind of sometimes have open endings and leave to the interpretation of the reader and things like that. But this one just felt really just unfinished, and I was really disappointed because it took some work to grab me in that first book, and then to just do me like that for the second. I was just like, why? Also, Broody, Brit by Naima Simone. And y'all know I love me some Naima Simone. But this one, I don't know if it was the narrators, because them narrators just did not work for me. Did not work for me at all in this book. And I kind of think that that's why I didn't enjoy it as much. Because, yeah, nah. And then there were some like extra social topics that were included in the book that I was just like, why we gotta go there? Why we gotta go there? Biggest surprise, which is question number 6, is Atlas by J. Nell and pretty much all of the Gideon brothers. But J. Nell got me, right? So I will tell you this, full warning of this. There are a lot of typos and like formatting issues with Atlas, right? And you guys, you may or may not know this, but I am susceptible to pick up on a lot of those things because I use text to speech, because my eyes are not fully healed. So I use text to speech to read my ebooks to me. So it's very robotic and things like that. But the robot freaking picks up every single thing that is on the page. And if it's not formatted correctly, if like sentences are broken and things like that, it picks up on it. And then you're like, wait, what, huh? How did that? And then I look at it and I'm like, oh, it's because of the formatting of the book and things like that. Or, wow, that I don't know that word should have been used there. Or, you have some extra letters here and extra letters there. And it was just like, but the story of it, the story of Atlas, I was just like, mwah, give me more. Those Gideon brothers had me in a chokehold for all 4 books that are out, and they ended up getting better and better and better with the formatting and with the grammar and the typos and things like that. And by the 4th book, I was just like, when am I getting the rest of the books? When am I getting the rest of the books? I need them now. And also another big surprise is This Is Forever by Natasha Matson. this whole series, the This Is series, it's a hockey romance series about second generation hockey players. And I picked this up on a whim and was like, let me see what this series is about. Let me go ahead and read me some Natasha Matson and see what it's all about. And I did, and I was just like, oh, I'm in love. I needed that hockey. I needed that sports romance right then and there, and I was just like, yes. Thank you very much. So 7 favorite new to me authors. I'm just going to list them off for you guys. We have J. Nell, who I've already talked about and just raved about. We have Tiffany Patterson, which you guys, I got to interview her for my series, so she's coming up in the next couple weeks. Super excited for you guys to see that. We have Trelina Pucci, which you guys, if you haven't seen the interview that I did with her for my series, you need to go watch it because she's fucking hilarious. She is so funny and so just amazing. We talk about her books and all of her process and all. Yes. Love Trelina. Zyla Turner. Why hadn't I read Zyla Turner before freaking this year? I read her, and actually I may have been introduced to her last year, or I may have read her before and just never put it together, but she's going on this list is new to me because I am like diving into her backlist. Ma'am has a backlist that is like 3 or 4 arms long, and I'm just like loving devouring into her books. We have Sade Renee. Did an interview with her as well. She's on my new to me list, and loving her work that I am finding. Kimberly Lemming is giving all the fantasy romance with spiciness that I just needed and giving it to me in a consumable way for me to just absolutely fall in love with them. And then finally, Keita Kendrick, another one that I found through the Lunchtime Chronicles that I am just like, I need to like devour all her books. And then there's a couple more that I just didn't write down, and but those are the ones that are just like, yes, I am looking at all of their backlists and going to try and devour. I mean, there's only a certain amount of hours in a day, so reading gets kind of complicated. Question number 8 is my newest fictional crush. It's a tie between Gale from The Princess Bride by J.J. Mcavoy, because him and his like grumpy playboy-esque sort of feel, I was just like, oh, here for it. Here for him through all of his trials and tribulations with his family, and just loved him. And then we have JP from So Not Meant to Be by Megan Quinn. I love me some JP. And I actually got to listen to the audiobook for this, and that audiobook narrator just made me love him so much more. Love JP. Love. My newest favorite character has to be Peter and Lennox from Peter by J. Nell. It's one of the Gideon Brothers series books, and I want a grand Peter like freaking Peter. Oh my God. Like, seriously, he pulled himself up and got himself to a situation that he could just be. And he's a silver fox too. And I was just like, woo! Can you tell it's getting hot in my car too? Woo, my fro is like doing its own thing, and I'm glistening. But Peter, yes, I need a grand Peter like Peter, please. Question number 10 is books that made me cry. Now, if you don't know, I am susceptible and feel that crying through a book is cathartic, and it usually comes when you need it. You need that release and things like that. So it's not a thing for me not to cry through a book if I'm feeling touched and things like that. But these 2 books had me, or 3 books had me in tears. Last on the List by Amy Dawes, The Princess Bride Part Number 2 by J.J. Mcavoy. The things that those 2 have to go through. Woo! Oh, Odette and Gale go through it. And then we have A Reason to Believe by Rebecca Yarros. This one is super special because, oh my God, you can see the things that Rebecca has experienced personally written into these books, and the correlation to her real life to this story was just like, oh man, I can only imagine. I can only imagine how hard it was for Rebecca to write this book, knowing that parts of it were part of her journey in her real life, and just, it was so good. So good. Question number 11, books that just made me happy. By a Thread by Lucy Score. Like I said, I laughed, I cried, I swooned, didn't realize how chunky of a book and how many hours I listened to it as an audiobook, but I did, and loved every single moment of it. And then Vows by Alethea Romig. This is a novella, and it puts us back into the Sparrow Saga world, and I was just like, I got to see all these characters that I absolutely love and found endearing, and get to see just a little bit more of them, and it was just so good. It was so good. I loved every single moment of it. Question number 12 is most beautiful book that I have received. Like I said, I'm in my car, so I didn't prep for this because I forgot that I needed to release it tomorrow, or today when you're seeing this. So I will insert a picture here for you guys. I got this special edition copy of Filthy Rich Americans in this box from Nikki Sloan. She started like my rabbit hole dive into Kickstarter. Now, Willow Winters did one last year, but I didn't participate in that one. Then this one came up, and I was like, I've got to have it. And I have like 2 or 3 more that I have coming in, but Nikki Sloan, this is your fault. This beautiful, beautiful box and book cover is your fault. Also on there, I had to get the special edition copies of All the King's Men series from Kennedy Ryan, which are these right here. I also have ordered and on the way the new long shot covers. Mwah. Can't wait to get those. Can't wait. But yeah, there's that. So question number 13, which is way too many to list and things like that, is books that I need to read before the end of the year. We're halfway through, guys. If I am 16 books ahead of my 250 reading goal for the year, I got plenty of time. I'm sure at some point I'm going to read so many of the books, but I am definitely looking forward to any book that Alethea Romig releases this year before the end of the year. And I believe there's either 2 or 3 books that are in the works for the end, like for the second half to be released. We have I think 2, maybe 3 books that are supposed to be coming from Corinne Michaels. Kennedy Ryan has her epic marriage romance coming out near October, November timeframe. Can't wait for that one. And then of course, Megan, I believe, has 2, maybe 3 books that are supposed to be coming out before the end of the year. I don't know if Amy has any books coming out, but she'd be on the list as well. So yeah, there's that. That is the mid-year freakout tag. I have chewed off your ear enough. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Also, there is a feedback form down in the description box so you guys can help me improve my channel. My 7-year celebration like games form is down in the description box. Wow. Get those in so that I can possibly prepare if I do end up doing the live show on the 8th, as well as my author suggestion form. So if there's a specific author that you think I should interview for my Let Me Introduce You series, there's that form. And then authors, if you guys see this video and you want to participate in the Let Me Introduce You series, you can go fill out that form as well. So there's that. Thank you to the people that have been patrons of mine over on Patreon. I will be leaving it up, but it'll be more of early access, and I may have some exclusive videos that I pop in there. But if you've watched any of my recent videos, you will know that I am in a creative video slump, like badly, guys, super bad. So yeah, we're just gonna let it flow and see how that goes for the rest of the year. So don't be completely obligated to join my Patreon or anything like that, because you guys will still be getting the weekly review and things like that. Other than that, I am done rambling for this video, and I will see you guys in another one.